This is a demo on how to launch and install the Hortonworks HDP 2.5 demo kit AMI on AWS. We have 8 steps. One is to sign into the console. 2, we will go out and find the AMI. 3, we'll launch the instance. 4, we're going to connect to the instance. 5, we're going to log into Ambari. Then we're going to shut down the instance so that we can stop paying for the VM usage itself, but we will still continue to pay for the root volume in Amazon EBS, Elastic Block Storage. We will then restart the instance. There's a couple things that I have to remember on the way I do my setup. And then finally, we're going to terminate the instance. So in other words, destroy the instance and delete the root volume so we're not paying for anything anymore. So step 1, we're going to sign into the AWS Console. So I've Googled AWS Console here. Okay. Upper right hand corner, sign into console. Okay, I'm a returning customer, so very simple. A tip, so I've set up two-factor authentication here, and my recommendation is to do the same. I don't know very much about security, but what I do know about security is I don't know very much about security, so when it's an obvious security thing, I try to do it. Okay, logged in here, we're at our dashboard. So the next step is we are going to search and find the EC2 Community AMI. So go back to our dashboard here. Go down to Compute, EC2. It's going to bring up a screen here. We want to be in Northern California, so the Northern California region. Okay. I'm going to go down to AMIs. And then this one says AMI's owned by me, but we want public images, I believe. So I'm going to type in demo kit. And then up comes the HDP 2.5 demo kit cluster. That's the one we want. So we signed in, found the image. Next step is the launch the EC2 instance. So pretty simple. Make sure this is highlighted, hit the launch button. And I think our instructions said we need 16 gigs of memory right here. So here's a T2X large, but I think our instructions said to use the M4X large. Configure instance details. Add storage. I think the instructions said magnetic. I don't know why. Add tags. So we're launching an EC2 instance, but if we had a whole bunch of services we're using together, like S3 storage and things like that, this is how you group them together, or one of the ways you group them together. Configure security group. Okay, this is a little different. The instructions here said open this to all traffic, all, and that's one option. I prefer to just as a habit, like because I don't know much about security. I like to use my own IP address. So you have an option where you will capture your own IP rather than just opening it up to the whole entire world. So you just have to remember that. If you want other people to connect, then you'll have to go fix this. Review and launch. Okay, yes. Launch. Okay. I'm going to create a new key pair. I'm going to call this one demo kit. AWS demo kit. Download that. Okay. And then I'm going to launch the instance. Okay. launch log. So I can actually go back to my EC2 dashboard right here and go find this instance. Okay, demo kit, and there it is. It's running and initializing, and I won't be able to connect to it, I believe, until the initialization is complete. Okay, signed in, found the image, launched the image, the EC2 instance. Now I want to connect to the instance. I'm here at the dashboard, my EC2 dashboard. So it's running right now. When it first starts up, it'll initialize. I believe you can't connect until it says running. So to get to your EC2 dashboard, you can always go to here, and then here's my recently visited services, or down here as well. Okay, so I have one running instance, and now I want to connect to that instance. So in my case, I'm using Windows, so I'm going to use PuTTY. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to launch PuTTY generator. I'm going to import the key that we downloaded when we launched the instance. Okay, AWS demo kit. Okay, save that key. I am not going to use a passphrase. And I'm just going to use the same name as, what do we call that? AWS demo key. Okay, AWS demo key kit. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to launch PuTTY here. So the first thing to note is, I call this AWS Hortonworks. Demo. Okay, so first, the IP, the host name and the IP. So a couple things here. So the username in this case is EC2 user. I'm pretty sure we're using a Linux AMI, so EC2 user, but just in case in the future if you're using Ubuntu or something else, you just have to remember if you're switching around. So I'm going to use EC2 going here. EC2-user at, okay, now I need to find my IP, and that will be right here. You can find it right down here. This is my dashboard, this machine, then down here, public IP. Upload my key. Okay. Change the connection here. Go back up here. Let's save this. Okay, let's open it. Yes. Here we go. So now I'm in. Do an update. This will definitely take a while here. So just so you know, as it's doing its thing here, you can go back to your dashboard. There's actually a monitoring spot right here. So I'm making it a little bit bigger. See description, status checks, monitoring. You can see down here CPU usage, disk reads, rewrite operations. Shows you what's going on. Okay, so continuing on here. Yes. Okay, so all the installs and updates are done. Just leads us to the next step, to log into Ambari through our browser. So, to do so, we will go find, remember, EC2 Dashboard, description. Here's the public DNS. Public DNS. And it's 8080. We get to our Ambari login screen. The username is admin. The password is in your EC2 dashboard under the description, so there's public DNS. It is the owner, which is right here. Right there. Voila. We're in. There's the dashboard. Okay, so I'm going to sign out here and then talk about the next step, which is to shut down the EC2 instance. So when we're done working there, it's critical because we are paying for this resource. We're getting charged. We have a $100 AWS credit, AWS education credit will be applied against that. But when we are done not using the VM, you always want to shut it down. So it's pretty simple to shut it down. One thing I want to point out here, so here's the root device right here. So when we shut this down, the ephemeral storage will be gone, but the root storage will see any data on the ephemeral storage will be lost, so stop. But the root storage is still out there, so when we start the machine again, we can it'll start off with this. So we are continuing to pay for the root device storage. So just because you turn off the VM, you're not getting charged for that, great, but you are still getting charged for this storage right here. Okay, great. So the machine is now stopped. Perfect. We're not getting charged for the VM. We still have the storage out here. So when we want to go back to work, just simply go to your EC2 dashboard and instance state and start. Yes. Okay, we are restarting the instance and it is done restarting. So what you want is running, and then the status checks are complete. It is possible to connect when it is still initializing. I just don't know exactly what's going on and how long it takes, but definitely when the checks are done, you should be able to initialize. So a couple things to remember. So since we stopped the instance, we lost the IP assigned to it. So I want to check the VM IP, and then also the security rule, which is one of the security rules, which is not related to starting and stopping the VM, but just another, connectivity thing when you stop an image, and then maybe it's 2 days later. And so the first thing is our IP changed right here. So we're back here, we're in the description, and our IP changed right here. So when it comes to PuTTY, I have to go in and load the Hortonworks demo, change the IP. Okay, so good there. Okay, the other thing is the IP is changed, so when we log into Ambari, we're going to have to log in with a different DNS. Ambari. And then finally the third thing is the security rules. So remember, so here's the inbound rules. I can view the inbound rules. So remember, I had selected, I'll just launch the wizard here. I had selected my IP. So what I had selected here was instead of doing all, I had done my IP. And so if I turned off my VM, walked away a couple days later, and then who knows, my IP changed, then I would need to go back in and update that if that's the way I was doing the inbound security rules here. So just a couple of tricks or things to remember when you go to restart the instance and get connectivity again. And then finally, when we're all done and we don't want to use this VM anymore and we want to make sure they're not paying any money for anything, we will want to terminate the instance. So what it's going to do is it's going to turn off the instance and just pretty much destroy everything. You'll get a warning message here, but you won't be paying for using the EC2, the compute, and then you won't be paying for storage. So on an EBS-backed device, the default action is for the root volume to be deleted when the instance is terminated. Storage on any local drives will be lost. So yes, and it's shutting it down, and it's terminating it, and everything is going bye-bye. And then, I don't know, it takes probably 30 minutes, this will disappear off your EC2 dashboard. And that are the 8 steps, basic AWS security, money gotchas.